Alright, it's review time again, and this time we've got ourselves a nice little treat actually. I got two young boys and they're constantly doing stuff, running around, having fun, and they like to record the action, so I thought, let's record the action with a little action camera. Now I've had some GoPros in the past, I've had a bunch of different cameras, action cameras they're called. This one caught my eye on Amazon because of the price and because of the features it has, to be quite honest. The features it has for the price are amazing, so if they work, that's what we're about to find out. So it's a tiny little action camera. It's made by Campark, and of course came out of China. For now, you can get these things pretty cheaply off Amazon or other places. This one is a 4K camera though, Ultra HD. 4K is useful, a lot of TVs use it, but it's useful for editing. So when you have a 4K image, it's huge, and you can take a 1080p out of that image. So let's pretend that this is your 4K image. You could take 1080p out of that and use this as your video, right? I don't know if that analogy made sense or not, but the point being, when you record in 4K, while it takes up a lot more of your SD card, you can certainly edit and get zoom in on shots, etc. So anyway, pick this guy up. It's pretty cool. It comes with a plethora of attachments. So I'll quickly run through all the attachments. I'm not going to pretend to know what they're called or what they do, but they all kind of go together like Lego, and so you can set up however you'd like. In the instruction manual right here, they do go through and show you all of the parts that it comes with, and they do show you the assembly of each part, which for people like me, that's extremely helpful, because some of these are 3 and 4 pieces that go together to attach to your helmet, for example. I like to simplify it as much as I can, so I'll take a look at this and see what we're going to use. For sure we use the handlebar mount though. My boys love to put the camera on their bikes and go ripping around through the river valley. So here's the camera itself. It's pretty tiny actually, as they all are. This one, the dimensions were given to me in there. You know what, I'm just going to measure it myself because, you know, sometimes people cheat dimensions, I guess. Let's look at this and say that it is, let's call it 59 millimeters wide by 41 millimeters tall by, without the lens, 24.5 millimeters thick. The lens, outer diameter of the lens is about, well, just under 21 millimeters. So there you have it as far as dimensions. Right quick, we can weigh it and find out what we're talking about for weight, because that's important with action cameras. And with the Campark Ultra HD 4K camera, 43 grams. That's pretty good. I wouldn't run it without this protective cover, so let's measure it with the protective cover, looking at 119 grams, and that even has a little bit of an installation thing on it. So I do some work with drones occasionally, and 120 grams for a 4K HD camera is amazing. That's super, super light. I'm really impressed with that, if the image quality is what they say it is. Let me charge up some batteries, and we'll get this thing fired up and we'll see what it can do. The boys are raring to put it on their bike. It's got a ton of features. It's got Wi-Fi, it's got HDMI output, that's a huge thing actually. So yeah, let me charge up these batteries. It comes with 2 extra batteries, or does it come with 2 batteries in total? I bet there's not one in here. So no, there's not. It comes with 2 batteries in total. That'll be a question I have. Can I buy more batteries? They are 3.7 volt lithium ion, 900 milliamps at 3.3 watt hours. So I read somewhere it consumes 400 milliamp hours. So that'll be about 90 minutes of runtime per battery. We'll also see if that is true. So let me charge some batteries and I'll get back. Alright, I just wanted to show you what it looks like mounted on the bike. Here's a couple of shots of that, just using the included mounting hardware. And then I took it for a little bit of a bike ride. So I'll let the audio roll here for a second. You can hear the audio. Now keep in mind that that is inside the protective plastic case that you saw in the photo just a second ago. So I don't expect any audio out of that whatsoever. So I don't use the audio for this kind of footage, normally speaking. They do have a separate cover that goes on that plastic cover, and it has holes in it to provide a little bit of audio input. Anyway, this is just a quick bike ride around my neighborhood, just around the block here. We'll let this roll for a second, and then we'll switch off to some other footage. All in all, really not bad footage here. You can see the white sky in the background is kind of blown out, and there's a bit of motion blur on the sides, but I'm probably doing 30-40 kilometers an hour here. No, not that fast, maybe 20 or 30, but it does quite well. I'm fairly impressed, and there is a lot of vibration. It's on a mountain bike that has fairly stiff front shocks and no back shocks. So another option to smooth out your video, of course, would be to put it on a helmet cam. So maybe we'll do that too. Alright, so we're going to try and get some footage with this Campark action cam. I've got my own little tripod here. I use this little guy for a lot of stuff. I'll just throw this on here. I've got my son down there ready on his bike. He's telling me to hurry. I'm just going to throw this into one of the attachments that they include. So there's your little, that could even be like a, you know, a hand cam there. I'm going to set this up, and I'm going to set it up into what they have for slow mode here. I can't remember the settings, I'll tell you in just a second here. In slow motion, it's right there, 720p at 90 frames a second. So we're going to go for that. Or you can do 1080 at 60 frames. So 60 frames isn't really slow-mo. You can slow that down a bit. If you're going to publish in 30 frames though, you've only doubled your frame rate. So I'm going to stick with 720p and 90 frames a second. And we're good to go. So I'll take this and set this up, and we'll get this young man in slow-mo and see what the footage looks like. Alright, we're ready to roll. We got some bright light from that side, but let's go! So here we go in 720p, 90 frames a second. We're going to get some slow-mo and see what we... Woo!